What's up, demons? It's your boy, also known as that's me. I'm Corey, that TCG guy. I've been trying to work on like a new intro, and I mean, I don't really say this all the time, but I have said it before. And it's a quote from, I'll put the meme up right here, from one of those like ghost hunter YouTube shows, and I think that's hilarious. So maybe, who knows, maybe I'll start saying that at the beginning of all the stuff. Also, I realize it's been a long time since you've seen me here, and I realize that I have said on numerous occasions that I was going to start doing more videos. Whoops. I apologize for that. I really do want to make more YouTube videos on a more consistent basis. Just timing is tough. It's you know, full-time job, streaming 2 to 3 nights a week, which you can find me at twitch.tv/thattcgguy every Thursday and every Tuesday. That was backwards, but you get it. But anyway, that being said, I'm back here with a deck tech for you. It's been too long since we did a legitimate actual deck tech, and this one is a deck that I've been super psyched about, and I've been playing it a ton, and it's super fun, and it's different. Well, I mean, I guess maybe it's not different, but it's something that I don't typically play. That's also a lie. It's in colors I play quite often, but it's a strategy I don't always do. Today, you know what? Let's just get to it. Today we're talking about Ghyrson Starn Kelermorph. This is from the Warhammer 40k precons. This one I believe was in the Tyrannid. I hope I said that right. The Teamer deck. This one is one of the like not face commanders, because it's not all 3 colors, but it's an option if you got rid of green, I guess. I don't this is starting off terrible. Anyway, let's talk about the card. Ghyrson Starn Kelermorph, 1 blue-red for a 3/2 legendary creature, Tyrannid human. It has Ward 2, so if anything wants to target this, you have to pay an additional 2 mana to do it. And then it has 3 auto stubs. That's an interesting. I never actually read that part of it, but it's an ability that says whenever another source you control deals exactly 1 damage to a permanent or player, Ghyrson Starn Kelermorph deals 2 damage to that permanent or player. So with this deck, basically, I got into really heavily leaned into that deal 1 damage to whatever I can. Basically, it's the main theme of the deck with, you know, some spell slingers, obviously, because it's Izzet sub theme here, but it really is leaning heavy into pinger creatures, into instants and sorceries that deal 1 damage to every creature or each player, things like that. So we're going to dive deep into those things. We're not going to go over every single card in this deck. I will post the list from Moxfield down in the description below. So if it is something you're interested in and you want to check out, you can click that. Also, give me a follow on there, because that would be awesome. You can see all my decks and you can follow and see when I make new ones. And if you like them, you can use them, because that's the thing that we do here for each other in this community. So with that being said, let's get into the deck. Let's talk about some of the major cards we want to play here. And yeah, let's get to it. All right, first we're going to talk about the pingers, the things that are going to deal 1 damage to target creature or target player, and then we'll kind of expand out to the things that deal damage to multiple things as far as creatures go. But we're looking at cards like Cunning Spark Mage, Goblin Sharpshooter, Prodigal Pyromancer, Prodigal Sorcerer, Razorfin Hunter, Thornwind Fairies, that's my phone, and Zern Spellcaster. So all of these creatures in some way or another, you'll see them on the screen here, these all tap to deal 1 damage to target creature or player. Obviously, with Ghyrsson, what's happening here is you deal 1 damage, and then Ghyrsson deals 2 damage. Therefore, you're dealing 3 damage to target creature or player. This could be great for holding off attackers, because you can hold up the threat of, you know, something coming at me. It's going to deal 3 damage to it. I'm going to kill it. I'm going to get rid of it if it's, you know, something that can be killed. But it definitely helps hold people back, especially when you have just kind of that I kill this thing button right in front of you. So these are all the things that are going to deal 1 damage to target creature or player. And also, you know, if they don't attack you on the end step before your turn, you just tap all of them, deal 3 damage to different players, and that adds up real quickly. So these are all, there's a ton of other pingers out there, but these are the ones that I threw in here that I thought would work really well. All right, the next thing are creatures that deal damage to each opponent. These are so good in this deck. You want to throw these in here because, again, they're gonna hold off people from attacking you. If you have them up, you can just kind of threaten that life loss with or that direct damage to them with it. But also at the end step of before your turn, you can tap all these, deal just a metric crap load of damage to your opponents. And it again, like I said, it really adds up and it's really going to do damage. So the creatures we're looking at here are Exalted Flamer of Tetsanok. I hope I said that right. It's another Warhammer card. We have Firebrand Archer. Glinthorn Buccaneer, which is a combo piece with a few other things in here, but you know, maybe you'll figure that out as we go along. We have Lightning Rig Crew, we have Lobber Crew, and then we have, if I'm remembering correctly, Thermal Alchemist is the last one here. So these are all cards that are going to deal direct damage to each opponent, and then with some untappers or, you know, ways to abuse this, you can easily knock the table down for upwards of, you know, 16 damage a turn if you're doing things correctly. I'm not saying you're going to do that all the time. I'm just saying it could happen. If that math is wrong, I did it in my head and I did it fast, and I'm not good at math, so I'm sorry if I got it wrong. And then we have things that untap our stuff. We're looking at Fate Stitcher, we're looking at Kelpie Guide, and then we're looking at Vizier of Tumbling Sands. These are all things that you can tap to untap another permanent you control, or tap a different permanent. If you don't want to get attacked by something big, you can tap it down. But mainly we're using these to untap our pingers or our table-wide pingers. So you're going to want to at least run a few of these untap effects, and these just happen to be ones that are creatures as well. So take a look at those. All right, here are some instants and sorceries that are going to work really well here. These are some that deal damage to each creature, which is really nice. So you're looking at Blazing Volley and Scouring Sands. These each deal 1 damage to each creature your opponents control. Again, this is just a way to hold the fear up, though that could work against you. People could decide to attack you. This is an excellent board wipe. That's not technically a board wipe. With Ghyrson on the battlefield and you play a Blazing Volley or a Scouring Sands, you can clear out everybody else's creatures, leaving you room to attack in if you want to, which we're not doing a ton of attacking, but you can if you need to. Or it just, you know, it just makes it so you clear out your opponent's creatures, and it just leaves you safe for you to do your pinging and untapping shenanigans to really, you know, settle any scores you have with your opponents, or just bring their life total down to 0, which is the whole point of the game. We also have Electrickery, which does the same thing. It's an overload card from one of those Ravnica sets back in the day, but it deals 1 damage to each creature you don't control, and then you can overload it for 1 in a red to deal 1 damage to each creature you don't control. With Ghyrsson, again, you're dealing 3 damage to each creature. Just a great way to clear out the battlefield of any pesky creatures that may be trying to ruin your day. Alright, so there are a couple other things in the way of artifacts and enchantments that are going to help us out with the deal 1 damage to a thing strategy, because that's the strategy we're in. Anyway, so one that's really fun that I super like is a card called Claptrops. This was brought to me by my good friend Eda Dick, who is a regular in the stream. He's one of our mods. And this card's a 3-mana artifact that says whenever a creature attacks, Claptrop deals 1 damage to it. We're barely ever attacking, so we don't have to worry about this, but other creatures from our opponents attacking, as long as Ghyrson's out, along with Claptrops, they're really going to have to think about how they attack and if they want to attack. So this is really just going to give us some protection from creatures. Oh, hey Dalton, my dog just walked in the room. How you doing, buddy? Give me a big stretch, buddy. Scratch that booty. Anyway, it's going to really make our opponents think about what they're doing as far as attacking and if they want to even attack, which is great because we don't want them to attack us. All right, we also have Circle of Flame. This is going to do a similar thing to Claptrops, only it's going to only do it to creatures without flying. So whenever a creature without flying attacks you or a planeswalker you control, Circle of Flame deals 1 damage to that creature. Again, really making our opponents think about what they're doing as far as attacking, if they want to attack us, if they want to hold back. If they have flyers, we're still kind of but it really is gonna make them think twice before they decide to send in their forces. All right, as far as other support cards here, these are just kind of things that work well with Ghyrson that aren't necessarily vital to the strategy, but are gonna do some damage if left unchecked. We have things like Intruder Alarm. This basically, it's an enchantment, it's 2 and a blue. When creatures don't untap during their controller's untap phases, whenever any creature comes into play, you untap all creatures. This is just a way for us to really abuse our pingers and, you know, deal 1 damage to each opponent cards. If we play this, people are going to be playing creatures. It's going to untap all creatures. We can then choose to tap our pingers and things to deal some extra damage, which is really, really nice. We also have things like Quicksilver Dagger. This is an enchantment that's going to give that pinging effect to anything, maybe something that doesn't have this pinging effect. We don't want to put it on our commander because our commander does read when another source, so he doesn't count himself, but we can put this on maybe one of our untappers or one of our haste enablers, things like that. But it's going to just give that ping effect to a creature that may not have it. We also have things like Fever and Anger. These are going to give all of our creatures haste, which we really want. Same thing with 1,000 Year Elixir. It's going to let us use our tap abilities right out of the gate so we can start really dealing damage with our pinger effects, which is great. Then we have things like Curiosity, which basically are going to, if we can put it on our Niv Mizzet, which there's a Niv Mizzet in this deck, that's obviously a win right there. But if we put this on any of our pingers, basically whenever that creature deals damage to an opponent, we can draw a card. So it's just a way to ping, draw a card, and get us some extra advantage, which is always good. We're never going to complain about that. And then there's a land here that I want to talk about really quick before we wrap things up. This is Bolduvian Trading Post. This is similar to Claptrops or Circle of Flame, but for a single target. So it has an ability for 1 and tap. Bolduvian Trading Post deals 1 damage to target attacking creature. So you can hold this up as a threat for someone. You're like, hey, if you attack me with that creature right there that has 3 or less toughness, I'm going to kill it. I'm going to kill it with Bolduvian Trading Post. And people just have to really work around this and figure out what the best course of action is. All right, folks, that's it. That is the Ghyrson Starn Kelermorph deck. Obviously, there's a lot of other filler pieces within the deck that really round it out to give you card draw, give you some interaction, give you some protection. So make sure you click the Moxfield link so you can see the entire deck list for yourself and see kind of the route we went with this. Which again, we really are relying heavily on our pingers and Ghyrsson to really bring it home and do that extra damage to kill our opponents, also to clear the board when we need to. It's a super fun deck. You have to merely make sure Ghyrson's protected. He does have ward to protect himself a little bit, but I think counter magic here and things like Lightning Greaves are going to be really, really important to make sure that you keep Ghyrsson around. But yeah, this deck has been super fun. I've really, really enjoyed playing it. It's a theme that's, you don't see a lot of pinger decks out there. I mean, at least I don't, not in the meta that I run. It's really fun and I really enjoy it, and I think that you might enjoy this deck as well. So again, if you want to check out the full list, make sure you click the Moxfield link down below in the description. If you like videos like this, please let me know by hitting the little like button or leaving a comment. It doesn't matter what you say, just engage with the video. That really means a lot. And yeah, like I said, I know I've said I'm gonna do a lot more videos and I haven't, so I apologize about that. So I really am gonna try in the next year to be a lot more consistent on YouTube as I am on Twitch. Again, you can find me on twitch.tv/thattcgguy. I stream every Tuesday and Thursday playing some EDH with my friends. Sometimes I play Flesh and Blood, sometimes I play Digimon. It really depends on what we're feeling that night, but mainly it's EDH content, so you can find us there. And yeah, hopefully you'll be seeing more videos here, more deck techs, more hot takes, more quick takes, things like that, all coming to you into your eyeballs from YouTube. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Please let me know if you did. Leave me a comment, hit the like button, all that good stuff. You should consider subscribing because that would be great. I'd really love for you to do that. And yeah, we'll catch you in the next video. See you later.